We're making waves and keeping it real. It's Real Talk Rhody with Bekah Berger.
It's Bekah Berger, Real Talk Rhody podcast, and with 92 Pro FM, we're talking with Wells Adams. Wells, correct me if I'm wrong, you have some local connections around here. I don't remember if this was on social media or on Bachelor in Paradise, but you name-checked your grandmother who lived in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Yeah, my grandparents both were from Fall River, Massachusetts, and yeah, we're a very Portuguese family. And I just remember like eating a lot of sardines when I would go visit them over there and stuff.
That tracks.
Yeah.
A lot of malasadish. I thought I married into a Portuguese family, so when I first heard that's another word for doughboy, and I thought my husband at the time was talking about Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things I also got confused about. Did you and your family come back and visit often to Fall River?
We only went a couple times. My mother's family, they lived over a bar, and I think that my grandfather or my vuzi and my vazi were like, we should probably not be living above a bar. So then they moved out to Los Angeles. But I've been back there to like see it and stuff and experience the town. And so, yeah, I have a kinship to Fall River.
Yeah, you have to the Riv.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the name of the bar? Not to put you on the spot.
No, and I don't think it exists anymore. But we've got a picture. We made like this big, book, whatever, with all like these old pictures and stuff. And there's a picture of it, and you can see the little apartment that was above it. So, yeah, my grandfather and his brothers, they ran it. They ran the bar underneath it, and then actually like my great grandfather great grandfather, he was arrested during Prohibition for running booze, which is the most. It's a cool story, but also like the most Portuguese thing in the world. I did one of those like commercials with Ancestry.com, where they go through your stuff, and they were like really excited. They were like, everyone wants this, but you actually have a relative who was arrested during Prohibition.
You got an A+.
Yeah.
You won Ancestry.com.
Yeah. And it makes sense too, because I play a bartender on Bachelor in Paradise. So like it totally checks, and
it's in your roots.
It is. It's where I come from.
It's your origin story.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's quite the glow up going from Fall River to Los Angeles.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's very, very nice. All of a sudden, my mom was going to USC. That seems like really nice. Yeah.
Well, we're talking with Wells Adams with local ties. You just mentioned Bachelor in Paradise. There's a couple Bachelor items I want to get to before we talk about Sweet Empire. I have to get your opinion. I know that she's sort of an ex of yours, but we're big fans of Ashley I and Jared around here. So I'd love to get your take, especially as somebody who's so knowledgeable in the world of reality TV, about the Real Housewives now having their first crossover with The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Ashley I is a Real Housewife of Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's funny. I do a podcast because I was on the show Traitors. So I do a podcast with Dolores Catania, who's the winner of season 3 that I was on as well. And so she's on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And so, like, one of the first episodes, she was like, Wells, do you know this Ashley I girl? And I was like, yeah, I kind of dated her on Paradise, 8 years ago. And she goes, she's crying all the time. Is everything okay with her? And I was like, everything's perfect. That if she's crying all the time, then everything is right in the world. Because
that's baseline.
Yes, Ashley is always crying. I will say this. I love Ashley. I think the world's better when she's on our TV screens. And the one thing that I really love about Ashley, which I can't say for everyone that I come across in the Bachelor world, is that she is authentically herself all the time. And I appreciate that, because it's a really hard thing to do, to be really vulnerable, which she is a lot because she cries a lot, and to be really honest while cameras are being pointed at you and mics are there and, producers are whispering things in people's ears and stuff. So I think that I don't watch like a lot of Real House. I don't think I'm the demo for Real Housewives shows, but I have a feeling that she will be fantastic television.
I agree. And I agree with you about the authenticity and the vulnerability as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking for a living is hard. We're talking with Wells Adams. All right. So Sweet Empire is a show you host. It's over on Food Network. It's a holiday competition series, Sunday nights. Tell us about it.
So yeah, holiday baking show with just hyper realistic cake builders, chocolatiers, and sugar artists. It was an absolute dream to film this show. We did it up in Toronto, which already has like a holiday feel. The set, the Yuletide Lodge, was absolutely perfect. And it's got a little bit of a twist, a sweet empire. What does that mean? So, like on the first day, we have 14 bakers come in. I give them all a task, make this really cool thing. And then Jacques Torres and Yolanda Gamp are my judges. They come in and we judge everyone's and we pick the top 6, right? And then it turns into a game of dodgeball vis-a-vis third grade PE, where the first place person gets to choose who's on their team or their quote unquote empire. And all of a sudden they start building their empire. And that becomes an interesting, just dramatic saga in itself, because you might be a great cake artist, but I need that sugar artist, or like, I need that chocolatier. And every week empires rise or fall or crumble or get absorbed into other empires. And everyone's constantly trying to figure out who to poach from other teams. And, every baker was on a TV show and I think had won a baking competition on TV, save one or two. So all these people are used to being the leaders, and now they're not, unless they are the leader of the empire. And that's dramatic in itself. The ending's beautiful, but also like it's just a kind of lovely, kind of like heartwarming holiday thing. And listen, we've got one episode left. It's coming up on Food Network on Sunday, but if you've missed it, you can watch it on HBO Max or Discovery Plus. You can binge it there. And I assume a lot of people will do that when everyone comes home for Christmas. They're sitting around the fire or they're in the kitchen baking or cooking, and like, you just throw this on, feel good TV. And then you get some ideas for some bakes you might make for the holidays.
What ideas did you get from it?
The ideas I got was I need to go on a diet because I ate too much of the stuff and I gained a lot of weight. It's when you host these shows that you have to eat it on camera. And Jacques and Yolanda have done this so often, so they know to just take a bite and then you're good. Not me. I was like, can I get another plate? And everyone's like, dude, you need to chill out.
And that's surprising because you're not allowed to eat on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
That is very true. But you're allowed to drink on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I know that for a fact. So.
Yes, you do. And just really quick on Sweet Empire, can you compare it to other reality shows like it? Is it a combination of any other reality shows that you can think of? I'm kind of getting Traitors a little bit, but the fact that everybody's on top of their game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I remember when the producers came to me with the idea and I was like, oh, this is so cool because the normal traditional baking thing is it's, one person against one person, or, one person against a bunch of other people. And this one, there becomes a team element. You need to have a political game. So I kind of saw a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
With you really need to work your political game. You need to make sure people like you and whatever, because you might need to bring them onto your team and stuff. And then I saw Traitors as well, because you're worrying about who's going to, poach or try to take you down. And so, yeah, it's a normal cooking show and then it's not. And that's what's really fun about it.
Sweet Empire. I can't wait for this. You said there are all the episodes left to binge, HBO, and also last episode is this Sunday, you said, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wells, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys. And tell my relatives I say hello.
Bon dia. Bye.